I don't know how I managed to get this bun so high, okay? I'm kind of honestly impressed with it. Hey y'all, my name is Nat. I hope you're having a terrific day today, and for this video I'm doing the Talkin titles book tag. Before we get into anything bookish, make sure to hit like and subscribe down below, as well as tell me in the comments what is your favorite book title. So not only was I tagged by this person, but the creator of this tag is Britt at Slanted Spines, and I'll put a link to her video right over here. Definitely go check it out. Britt is so creative, and I think she's made like 3 different tags now. I'm so impressed, honestly. So as the title of this video would suggest, all of these questions are revolving around the titles of books. Let's dive right in. So first question, we often say, don't judge a book by its cover, but do you judge a book by its title? Does a book's title influence whether or not you pick up a book? Sometimes, honestly, let's be real here, we're all a bit superficial when it comes to book covers or book titles, so if something sounds very generic, yeah, I'm probably a little unlikely to pick it up. This usually happens the most in thrillers and romances, honestly, where if a title is just so incredibly bland and it tells me nothing at all about what I'm getting into, I might just pass it by. I can't take this bun seriously. I'm just gonna do a ponytail. There we go. Better. Next question. When you read a book, do you try to figure out how it got its title if it's not an obvious title? Does it bother you when you can't figure it out? Oh my gosh, yes, big time, yes. If the title is said specifically in dialogue or somewhere throughout the story, I will probably just be like, ha! They did the thing! I do the same thing in movies. If it's more implicit, I will try to figure out, okay, what's the connection between this and this? Is it very obvious? Is it not? Do I have to think about it too much? If I have to think about it too much, or I just can't figure out where the connection is, I'm a little annoyed, I won't lie. Next question. I feel like I can't enunciate. I'm getting over a cold, so next question. Do you typically remember book titles, or are you always going, that one book? I'm actually fairly good with remembering book titles. Surprisingly, I don't usually think I have a great long-term memory. Short-term memory, I'm really good with. Long-term, not so much. But 9 times out of 10, I tend to remember book titles. Specifically, if I've read it, I'll really be able to remember it. But occasionally, if I can't remember the title, then chances are I can see in my mind what the cover looks like, but the title is just all fogged out, and it'll take me forever to figure it out, and then eventually it'll hit me like a brick. Next question. Do you feel that series titles should coordinate? What's the best series title that comes to mind? Oh, okay, I have a good one for good, but I also have a good one for bad. Let me go grab those. So first off, yes, if you're going to start a rhythm and a pattern when writing your titles, why would you change it midway through? That's so aggravating. Specifically, the first one that comes to mind for me is the ACOTAR series. I don't remember all of their names, but majority of them are like A Court of blank and blank, whereas the last one is A Court of Silver Flames. Still got the 2 words, but she removed the and it seems so odd. Another one that really annoys me actually is this is less so, she didn't start the trend of it, but the trend would have made sense. And that's Karen and McManus's books. Even though I love these books, at one point I crapped on the spines, but now I'm actually gonna crap on the titles. So the first one of her books is One of Us is Lying, and the second in the series is One of Us is Next. And technically speaking, like, it makes sense here, but it really annoys me that her other book, which she wrote before One of Us is Next, is Two Can Keep a Secret, and it has no correlation to One of Us is Lying. And even with that, the covers look so similar. You would think that this was a series. No, it's not. These 2 books have nothing to do with one another. They might be set in the same universe, but that's about it. And I just think it's so weird that she did that. As for the series titles that I think are best, I don't know if I would really call it the best, but I think it's very impressive that this author managed to maintain this trend throughout 13 books. That's gonna be the Charlie Davidson series. So the first book is The Grave on the Right, the second book is The Second Grave on the Left, the third is The Third Grave Dead Ahead, and she continues this trend throughout all of the books. Here are the last 3. So we got 11th Grave in Moonlight, The Trouble with 12th Grave, and then Summoned to 13th Grave. I think it's impressive how many different renditions she managed to do connecting to the word grave. I probably should explain the reason it's all connected to grave is the fact that the main character is basically in the beginning, you learn she's actually the Grim Reaper. There's a lot more than that in that series, but I'm not gonna get into it all here. Next question. What's your favorite titles? I don't know if I really have a favorite title, but the first few that came to mind was Conventionally Yours and Out of Character. I know I talk about these books a lot lately, but may I first say, both of these books revolve around a fictitious card-playing game in which it's very reminiscent to that of Magic the Gathering, and I think it's so impressive that the author even continued the nerdy connections in her stories to the titles. So in the first book, they go to a convention, so Conventionally Yours. On the opposite side, her second book, Out of Character, which is also in the same universe, Out of Character, or I'm gonna refer to it here as OOC, is what a cosplayer or a gamer will say when they are in character and then they want to say something as their own self. They will then say, okay, out of character, or OOC, and then say whatever they need to say. So I just thought that was very clever on her part to continue this nerdy trend in her stories, even to the titles. Another one that I have to praise is the Bromance Book Club series by Lyssa Kay Adams. I adore all of the different titles she has done because they all work as like a romance title, but then she incorporates the bromance aspect. So the first book is The Bromance Book Club. The second book is Undercover Bromance. The third is Crazy Stupid Bromance. And the newest one coming out here soon is Isn't It Bromantic? And I just think these are so cute and clever. The highest of praise to Lyssa Kay Adams for coming up with these adorable titles. Next question. What's the most iconic title that comes to mind? I didn't write anything down. I'm just going with what pops into my head first, and that's gonna be Alice in Wonderland for me. Yep. That's the most iconic title, apparently. Don't ask for further explanations here. Next question. What's the most uninspired, generic, lame title that comes to mind? So, as I mentioned in my first one, oftentimes I feel like this happens in romance and thrillers, so I'm gonna give you a romance. The 12 Dates of Christmas. It's so bland and easy and simple. It tells you right there, like, what all is going to happen within the story. There are 12 dates, and they all happen around Christmas time. Yeah, I know, it's really hard to figure out, right? It sounds like a Hallmark movie. It kind of is a Hallmark movie, just a lot more boring. And then as for a thriller, naturally, none came to mind, so I looked one up, and as soon as I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's really bland. And Now She's Gone. I don't know anything about what this is. I'm certain there are probably many other books that if they don't have the same exact title, they have some rendition of She's Gone. Final question. Hypothetically, if you were to rename your channel using an already existing book title, what title would you choose for your channel? Okay, so first off, this is a really good question because I really had to sit there and think like, okay, what's a book I enjoy and what's the title that can somehow connect with my videos and my channel and my personality? It was not an easy time. The first one that came to mind was Moxie by Jennifer Matthew. It's up there, I could get it, but I'm lazy. This is because I like to think I have Moxie. Also, I really love that book. Bam. The other one was, oh crap, I don't remember the author. Girl Interrupted by, I want to say Suzanne something. It's been a good few years since I read this book. But this one, I don't really think the book itself connects with me or my channel, hopefully, but I do think the title itself just fits because somehow anytime I attempt to read, I am always interrupted, whether I do it myself, whether someone else interrupts me, whether technology does. All right, so this is a tags. That means I have to tag some people. I'm gonna go with Addie at Books and Tea Time, Brennan at Brennan Dunaway, and Danny at The Literary Lion. All those wonderful ladies will be down in the description below. If you want to go check them out, you definitely should. They all are great creators and wonderful people. All right, as always, thank you so much for coming to my channel today, guys. I really appreciate it. Make sure to hit like and subscribe down below. I come out with videos on Monday and Friday, but until then, I hope you continue to have a terrific day. Love you, bye!